Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is classroom organization day 2 and today we are going to be looking at the bulletin boards. We are going to be covering the bulletin boards. I came into this classroom around 10 o'clock and I've been here ever since that time, trying to tidy up my shelves, move things around. And guys, it's not easy to just carry children and come to the classroom. Honestly speaking, if I show you the floor of this classroom, you will shout. They've messed up everywhere because they were busy playing with lots and lots of stuff, which they are going to clean out before we leave. But we are going to focus on the board right now. I have been able to work on my shelves. Luckily, I had a helping hand. You're going to be seeing him in this video. Guess who? I will not tell you until then. So we were able to sort things in different shelves. I tried to move my shelves around because I noticed that the previous arrangement I had didn't really give me what I wanted. So I intended to have a separate shelf for morning meeting or maybe for building community, some of those tools and games that build community that I have in my classroom, which I didn't even know that I had, honestly speaking. Because of COVID, I decided not to bring out my games, and those games are really good games for building classroom community. So I'm going to be having a shelf where I will house all the classroom community materials. You know, I do morning meeting in my class, which is also part of responsive classroom. If you have not heard of it, please check that out. I am going to stuff that shelf with those games I discovered and some of the ones I created, which I hopefully will be uploading on my blog. In case if you need, you can also go there and have. I'll also put the link to my blog in the description of this video, so you check it out. I also have a shelf where I put children's books. I usually don't keep those close to my table because honestly speaking, I hate clutter. I don't want their books around my table, so I kept that close to where they will just access it easily. And then my basket for home learning bags, which I usually keep close to the door, you know, as they are going home, they can easily pull their bags and walk away. That has been on the floor since, because I intended to pull just a little table to house their water bottle on top, and then beneath will be the basket housing their bags. Now they'll be having 2 bags each, one for home learning and the other one for library. So they are going to be having that as well. Okay, so that's just my intention. I will show you all these, and I've been able to clear my boards. I moved one board behind, which used to be my news board over there, to my whiteboard because my whiteboard has been changed. So I have I had a wider board before now. Sorry about the noise. My kids just banged into my classroom. That's just what we see as moms. Okay, so it was changed, and right now I have a smaller board. So I decided to, because I wanted something like where I can put the school personal learning goals. So I'm going to have that close to the entrance of my classroom. So I'll be showing you that. I also intended to cover it. I already had a cover before, but I think I'm going to change it. If I still have a spare cover, I'm going to change it. If not, I will leave it like that until resumption, because that's just when I'm going to have access to new papers or board papers. Prior to this classroom setup for this year, I intended to use fabric to cover my boards, but on a second thought, I decided not to do that. I also intended to use some of the fabric material to trim the borders. I am still thinking if I can have access to it before the end of next week, because I only have 1 week left before I will start a new academic year. So I will try. Let me see the much I can do. If I can get to that, good enough. If I cannot, I will leave it, and that will be it. So I'm going to show you around now, so you can see what I've been able to do and what I intend to do after that, which I will also be telling you right now. So I'll flip this camera now. Let's get started. All right, starting from the board, I still have my learning journey, which I'll be removing. I want to redesign this to have a different font and design of that learning journey, for it to be a bit maybe personal, if I may put it that way. That's just my intention. I will be leaving this welcome sign here and my water bottle sign as well. Outside my classroom, I had a display on my board, on my wall, as a glass, but I just pulled off that display right now because it's of no use. So I removed it, and it's old actually. So I still have my money purse that fell down. This is it here. So I'm going to be working on that. That should be next week. I don't intend to do that today. All right, I still have my IPC board. I pulled off the paper that was here before. Sorry about the stains. I'm going to work on that. So my intention is to replace the papers. I requested for a board, a display board, before the end of last academic year, but I was unable to get that. So I'm going to cover it with just papers. Guys, this is my world map. The way my last set, a particular child left it this way. I intend to fix it by using sellotape. I don't know whether it's going to work, but I'll manage it. I'm not going to buy another one because that's just not what I'm going to do right now. If the school intend to give me a smaller one, I will take. If they don't intend to, I will just leave it like that. It will still serve the purpose. I still have 2 gloves over there, so some children will use that. If I'm going to get them to work on any geography tasks, I might collect from my partner teacher and use. So I don't want to bug myself with that. Right now I have a shelf. This shelf is going to house some of the games, the science games, geography games, posters, and so on and so forth. So I have something like this. I was able to fix this. Luckily, a carpenter came over to assist me, and I'm grateful for that. So here I also have the small board. Last year I didn't really use this, sorry, because they were all hidden away as part of the things I stored in my classroom. But this year I'm going to use this, the money purse, although we have the digital version of it. So you can either use the digital version or the paper version, but I will use this. My intention is to have a group of children to sit, sorry about the mess, to sit on this table. Then they'll be using this. If I have an assistant teacher or an intervention teacher, our intervention teachers usually come to the classroom. So if they come around, I will assign this board to him or her to help the children who are close to this table. Okay, so that's just my intention, because I would like them to be close to wherever the demonstration board is. So I'm going to have this here, and I still have these games well shelved out, guys. This is what I've been working on. And then behind this shelf, I still have my umbrella given to me by the school, and then some stuff which I'm going to work on. So here is my math board. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to remove the number bond to 10 poster. I will put another one which we are going to work together to create, I and the children. I still have these math resources. These are some of the piles I will sort through and throw it, trash some of them. Here I have a shelf housing all the materials we are to use. So I sectionally it this way. The upper shelf houses the English stuff, the middle one the math, and the last one IPC and some other stuff. This year I have 18 children, guys, and because I have 18 children, the creative writing shelf, I was unable to get enough dividers, so I use these ones that I have. So I was able to put their folders. So I have the first one, second, third, and fourth. In the middle, I thought of having like a folder. Sorry, this folder is upside down, that I can use to track their progress. So I'm going to leave this folder here. And the shelf, I think this one is finally done. Here I have a seat for maybe an intervention teacher or assist or a volunteer that might come around. The person can sit here. Moving on, I have this table. This is the creative writing table close to the creative writing shelf. So once the time for writers workshop, the children will start working on this. When they are done, they will put their papers away in their folders in the shelf. That will help. The board here, guys, I was able to move my whiteboard. Sorry, it's very dirty because of the permanent markers. We tried to to clean off the permanent markers, but it still have stains, which I'm going to work on maybe next week, hopefully. I moved the whiteboard here, and I was able to get a carpenter to fix this board here. Prior to this time, it used to be somewhere here, so I moved it to, sorry, I'm making you dizzy, to this place. And where I used to have my news board, I moved the news board from here to close to my whiteboard over there. I was able to get a magnetic board, which I'm going to be using. I'll show you that. And these two shelves, the first one houses the art and craft supplies. So I have my art and craft stuff here, well arranged, good to go. And then this other one, because the shelves are two, houses my personal stuff, which I think I'm not going to leave open like this. I'm going to cover up these. I still have some papers to sort, these ones here, because they are bigger. I'm going to sort through all of them. So I have my personal stuff, which I don't want to share with the children, and I don't want them to have access to these stuff, because they are the things I use to create some resources. Above the shelf are some of the things I will still sort through. So sorry about the pile. Here I have a display board for my classroom library. I intended to do a 3D read letters and put those on the window pane, and then I'll use this as well for goal setting and some of the displays I intended to have. This is very close to the classroom computers. Luckily I have two, and I have one tablet, so they are going to be using those as well. Moving on, I have my English board. This has not been covered. I just put the papers there. The borders are still up. Sorry, I'm going to put the board paper, and then cover that with the board paper. I still have the borders. I'll adjust the borders in order to get it fixed. I removed the books we've read because this set I've not started reading with them. I intended to move the red closer to with so that it will be well placed. Here I have my display card, hexagonal, is it hexagon now? Yes, shapes. Two of them fell off. I am thinking of getting like a Velcro to hold these in place. I'll try it. If it works, good. If it doesn't work, I will see that it didn't work. Here I have my guided reading anchor chart, okay, the rules, which I created with past sets. I intended to have my anchor chart display for English here. Then I will have for math and IPC close to those boards. Here I have what I have not had before, my English shelf. I was able to fix the tires, and it's now a rolling shelf. I have my shelf housing some English games. I'm going to figure out where to place this one, maybe behind, I think. And some of these things, I'm going to house them where they belong. I was able to get a smaller table, so I placed a smaller table for some of the curriculum textbooks, so that they will not be far away from me. Each time I want to plan my lessons, they'll be very handy. My table is a hot mess right now. Please ignore this. Moving on, I have this math cubby. Sorry, my children, we are busy sorting through the math stuffs and then removing and arranging and playing, you know. I'm playing with some of the materials. So I have the counters here and blocks. I still have my cubes, my base 10 blocks, and so on and so forth. I still have my IWB, my letters. My intention is to place the focus word for my class, and then this math focus wall, I wanted to change it to maybe a focus wall or something. I might do that as well, or I can just leave it the way it is, but I'm going to cover this very soon, just today. Moving on, I have my voice chart. I'm going to remove this voice level chart and laminate it, or maybe I reprint it, because I noticed that there are lines on those. Either reprinting it, I don't know. I don't have this on my blog yet. I intended to have it. So if you need a voice level with the letters, I'm going to make that available on my blog, and then you have it. Moving on, I have a smaller magnetic board. Okay, so moving on, I have this news board here. I decided to move the news board closer to my white board. Either I use this for behavior management, just to help manage behavior in my class using some of the tools. Right now I'm going to fix my board papers, and that will be all for today. My intention is to get all the shelves done. I was able to do like 95% of shelf organization, and my board, I'm going to complete my board. Hopefully, if I come back next time, is going to be to tidy up the floor. Already my furniture, they are all set and ready to go, so I'm going to tidy up the floor, work on my guided reading table, and then work on my math tub. I think that's just the next video you're going to see. Aside that, outside I was given a new board, so here I have a new board outside my classroom. So I'm going to be working on that. Let's get to work. Guys, one board is done right now. Kudos. One thing I didn't put in my container that houses all my display board stuff. Oh, two things. The scissors and my cutter. I had two cutters. One, I don't know what I was trying to use it as a screwdriver at some point yesterday when I was working on my shelf, and it got broken, so I had to get another one. So those I used to fix the board. Unfortunately, there is a particular place, because I didn't reuse my scissors to cut the paper, it looks somehow like an awkward thing. I'm thinking if I should remove it, or sorry, I placed it the other way around, so I'm going to turn it and fix it properly. So one board done. I'm going to do two more boards and I will go home. One thing I have done is to reduce waste by reusing the border that was here before, because there's no need wasting resources. So I decided to reuse this border to save cost for the school. That is exactly what I do. I try to work as if it's mine. So I keep asking myself, if this institution is my own, will I be wasting things because I think I have access to it? No, I will not do it. That's why I decided to reuse this border, and I'm going to do the same for my other two boards that are left. just cover this with yellow. I intended to use yellow as well to run the edges of my whiteboard. I haven't done this before. This is the first time I'm trying it. So let me see how it's going to turn out, because I don't know how it's going to turn out actually, because I've not done it before. So I want to give it a try and see how it's going to turn out. All right. Hi guys, I was able to cover this with the sky blue paper, but I noticed that it didn't really look so nice. So I decided to turn the back to get white background. That's exactly what I did, and I was able to get this white background. Although it looks so rough, please just pardon the background, but I'm going to use a border to trim off the edges. I try using the dark blue borders, but it didn't really look so nice, so I decided to use this bright green color. That's exactly what I'm going for right now. It's getting dark. I need to head home immediately after this, so I'll just show you the boards I've covered so far and head home. That's exactly what I intend to do, so let's do it.